We wanted to take a closer look at the specific facts and charges laid out in the indictment now. And CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane is here with more. Scott, how did we get here?
John, how did we get to the point where a former president is walking into a courthouse that has the aesthetic charm of a middle school where the air conditioning doesn't work and all the world is watching?
You were in that courtroom. We should let people know you're not just you're not just adding ad hominems.
If the air conditioning worked, it didn't work effectively.
Right,
Let's start with that. The best place to look for answers is in the statement of facts or in the charging document, which we only got after these proceedings wrapped today. The top line is clear. There are 34 counts, 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. But how does it get to become a felony? How did we get to this point? Go deeper into the charging documents, and you can see that they're alleging a scheme here, that the business records were falsified, but for a reason, as part of a different purpose to mask other alleged misconduct. In this case, a scheme to violate election laws. That's the connective tissue they draw between the falsifying business records and the other alleged misconduct, a violation of election laws. And they say he involved others. Who are some of the others? One of the names we've known for quite a while, Michael Cohen, the fixer. But there also are allegations of a shell company and the Trump Revocable Trust. These are components that turn a falsification of business records into a felony. And that, John, is why we were all at the Manhattan courthouse today. And when I say all, some of us were inside, but outside were protesters, counter-protesters, people who wanted to be on camera, people who wanted to be around a scene. It very much was a scene.
Did anything surprise you in what we saw today? There had been so much advanced punditry, and it was kind of pre-chewed by everybody. But that in some ways can be useful because you look like you're going here and it ends up over here. Was there anything that surprised you?
There sure was. Well, first of all, after we learned the baseline issue here, that there are 34 counts and Donald Trump was pleading not guilty, the big question is, so what happens next? There was no gag order issued. That was one of the answers we were seeking. Is there going to be a gag order? But also, when's the next hearing? The next hearing is in December, around the holidays. The trial, at least for now, is scheduled for January. January is when the primary season begins. Presumably, Donald Trump's going to have other things to do and other interests at that point. All of that converges at the same time.
Right. And, well, we've also got those other cases in Georgia, the special counsels. So there could be an entire peanut cluster of legal activity while the political activity is going on as well. Scott, I want to ask you, Rebecca Roiphe, a couple of things. Orchestrated a scheme. So what happens in the statement of facts is the DA has said that this wasn't just one event with Stormy Daniels. The DA lays out a scheme that took place from August 2015 to 2017. And it looks like the argument is, and check me if I'm wrong, is essentially the entire catch and kill process. The idea of working with the National Enquirer was a campaign event, basically, which was to take these negative stories, buy them, and then bury them.
Exactly. I think that's right. And, you know, there are a couple of legal complications in the case, and they all have to do exactly as Scott was saying with what was the crime that was intended with all of this falsification. And I think you're right that part of it is this election fraud, and that's how they're developing a narrative. But there's also in the document claims that there was tax fraud. And I think that's important as well because it's a less sort of elaborate story. It's not as good a narrative because it doesn't have that catch and kill and the, you know, hush money payments and porn stars, but it's an easier claim from a legal perspective to make. And so it's good that they have that in there from the perspective of the solidity, the solidity of this case going forward.
Right. And as everybody's filling out their own taxes right now, they can certainly make their own personal connections to that. Was there anything that surprised you in it? I'll tell you what surprised me, and you can. But the Trump Organization's CFO, Alan Weisselberg, is in here a lot. And what did you make of that? That Weisselberg is in here a lot because we've heard a lot about Michael Cohen, but Michael Cohen has a bumpy past, which includes being a professional liar for Donald Trump and then getting thrown in jail in part for doing that. But Weisselberg, the CFO of the Trump Organization.
He's definitely in there a lot. So is David Pecker. That Michael Cohen is obviously central to this story, but he's not the only witness. There are those other allegations, and the question still remains: is Weisselberg going to cooperate? So far, it seems like not, but it's that could change.
And Scott, you were in the courtroom, and before we let this day pass, what else stands for you in your mind before? I mean, this was everybody keeps talking about how historic this day was, but you also pointed out that there was something small and regular about this day, which is another way of seeing it.
Perfect words to describe it. We were all wondering, what will Donald Trump look like when he is at the criminal defendants table? And it just seems so understated. He walked slowly, painfully slowly at times, it seemed, toward his seat. He sat in the middle with one attorney on one side, two attorneys on the other, nothing in front of him. Everybody had note papers and pens out, except Donald Trump, who sat with his hands folded and only spoke when spoken to by the judge, when asked direct, point-blank questions, including by the clerk, how do you plead? He said not guilty, but no adjectives around it, no superlatives. It was just a Trump you don't see on the public stage, because though everybody was watching, nobody actually was seeing this.
That's right. Rebecca, let me ask you a question. What is the Trump team doing right now, and will they be doing for the next period of time? And what do the prosecutors do now? Is this sort of, they got to just cool their heels until they hear from whatever the next move is going to be from the Trump team?
Well, there will be discovery right now, so that's the phase that the prosecution team has moved into. They have to turn over certain documents. We heard during the hearing that there was some question about what the Trump team is allowed to do with those documents. The prosecutors wanted the Trump team to keep those quiet, to use those just for preparation for trial, not for publicity. And
how was that adjudicated?
The judge, I turned to Scott, but as I remember it, having read the transcript, the judge simply said, we'll return to that. That's something that the parties are working out on their own. So that's, I think, what's going on now. In addition, they're waiting for those motions to come, preparing for those motions in advance, because some of them, they don't have to wait to receive the defense motions before they prepare their response. So
because
they'll be working on that
on
as
the
well.
law.
Of course, on the law and on the sufficiency of the evidence that they've put forward, which is going to be challenged initially in those motions.
Right. Okay. Rebecca Roiphe, thank you. Scott MacFarlane, thank you very much.